And people don't get it. And that's why I never do business outside of title.
Absolutely.
Don't do it, guys. What have you guys seen as a trap or something that people can get stuck in that we should know about in doing deals out in Las Vegas?
Well, I think some of the big stuff is definitely the title reports and what we're going to go up against, because that's going to be a delay in your transaction. That's going to be, if we know what we're looking at ahead of time, we get you a property profile, a lien report, something to look at the property before you jump into it. And then next thing I know, I get a purchase contract you want to close in 10 days. That's not realistic based on the research we've done ahead of time. So some of those things is to know more about the property when we get into it so that we can close under those short time frames that they like to get them done and not have to have a lot of surprises along the way. And the biggest surprises are always going to be what's on that title report, what they didn't do in the past, or what they is subject to, or they did an uninsured deed, or all these things that cloud the title or create issues for us to clear the title. Those are things that are going to delay your transactions and that become frustrating to that buyer that thinks they're going to close in a timely fashion.
Well, what's one of the stormiest rain clouds you've ever seen on a title report?
I've seen quite a few. I've seen quite a few. Maybe it's now the time to bring our underwriter in on this. He knows a lot of stories on that.
We'd love to hear them.
I mean,
give us some ugly stuff.
Give us some.
I'm going to say that definitely the family
members taking advantage maybe of other family members.
Well, or when you're always seeing somebody that's going to just deed it to their kid and, you know, they don't realize there's a tax lien that's going to attach to that property. And, you know, there's things that, obviously we sell title insurance, but without title insurance in the past transaction, it creates a lot of issues for us in the current transaction.
So Jennifer, I owe the IRS $200,000. I can't just give my property to you for now and then just not pay the IRS.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not do that. Or
got it.
Spousal interest.
Please call us before you start recording any of your deals.
Yes, exactly.
Down at the county.
That could be evasion. It could be a fraudulent transfer, right? If you're trying to evade a creditor or evade that, and you just deed your and people don't get it, and that's why I never do business outside of title.
Absolutely.
Don't do it, guys.
Sell it, but we see so many problems that arise because they didn't do title. Even if the intent was there and it was in good faith, they don't always know what was there. You know, it's either parents, family, but it can also be, I had a friend that he was doing a favor for a guy and he deeded him the house, or he was living there and he says, I'm just going to deed it to you. That guy can't sell it now because he has all the old issues from the guy that was generous enough to deed it to him, but also had tax liens, had spousal interest from prior transactions. They didn't have the spouse deed off, which in a community property state, we need the spouse to sign off. So he took a deed from a gentleman that was married, deeded it just from that gentleman's name himself to this gentleman, to his was a friend. And now he's gone, the gentleman that deeded it to him, and the friend can't do anything with the property because it was just a gift to him. Even at a gift, get title insurance, you know, because you do not know what's going to be in the future on that.
Especially if it's a gift, because hello, you didn't pay for it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
or the ones that do it not necessarily as a gift, but just give me a couple bucks for this and I'll deed you my property. We've seen that as well.
that happens a lot, right? Where someone just tries to maybe run a scam on someone and they know they've got a very messy title. They know they may not even have the right to sell it without their spouse or without all of the other people that might be on the report or might be involved. And so they just say to somebody, hey, give me $50,000 for a house that might be worth $200,000. They get a $50,000 cashier check. They say, I'll just deed you the house. They deed them the house. And then they go and try to sell that house a couple of years later, even a month later, they come to you guys and you're like, sorry, I can't do anything with this.
Right. We have a 6-page report with all these liens and things on it we have to deal with first, you know, and that's what you'll find on those situations. We have a gal that's just wanting to be added to her mother's property. Even in those situations, get title insurance, because if you just go deed and add your mother on there as a joint tenant to protect the house to go to you in the future, you still have an uninsured deed from your mom. And we're going to want to go back and make sure that that was really her intent. And if she's not there, that's going to be difficult for us to do. So any uninsured deeds of record are going to be a red flag to us. And we have to go back and get an affidavit from the grantor that signed that deed before we can go forward with the transaction.
Was it fraudulent?
Was it valid?
Were they under duress when they said we don't determine that and we're at our risk? We want to issue clear title.
Right. So title insurance, huge for any type of transaction. Anybody acquiring a property in any way that they acquire it should definitely make sure that they buy title insurance.